The notion that global warming is evoked by the mainstream media against Christianity is a claim that has been circulating in certain circles, particularly among conservative and evangelical groups. According to this perspective, the media's emphasis on climate change and its supposed causes is a deliberate attempt to undermine Christian values and promote a secular, liberal agenda. Proponents of this view argue that the media's focus on environmental issues is a way to distract from traditional Christian teachings and morals, and to promote a worldview that is antithetical to Christianity. One of the main arguments made by those who subscribe to this view is that the media's coverage of global warming is often accompanied by a sense of alarmism and catastrophism, which they believe is designed to create a sense of fear and urgency among the public. This, they argue, is a tactic used to manipulate people into accepting a particular ideology or worldview, rather than presenting a balanced and objective view of the issue. They also point out that the media often highlights the supposed consensus among scientists regarding the causes and effects of global warming, while downplaying or ignoring dissenting voices and alternative perspectives. Furthermore, some argue that the media's emphasis on environmentalism and sustainability is a way to promote a form of eco-spirituality that is incompatible with traditional Christian teachings. They believe that this eco-spirituality is a form of paganism that worships the earth and its natural systems, rather than the God of the Bible. This, they argue, is a threat to Christian values and principles, and is a way to undermine the authority of Scripture and the role of the Church in society. Additionally, some critics argue that the media's coverage of global warming is often tied to a broader agenda of promoting social and economic change, particularly in the areas of energy policy, consumerism, and global governance. They believe that this agenda is rooted in a liberal, progressive worldview that is at odds with Christian values and principles, and that it is designed to promote a more socialist or collectivist form of society. They point to the fact that many of the proposed solutions to global warming, such as carbon taxes, cap-and-trade systems, and renewable energy mandates, are often tied to a broader agenda of government control and regulation, which they believe is a threat to individual freedom and liberty. However, it is worth noting that this perspective is not universally accepted, and that many Christians and Christian organizations are actively engaged in environmental activism and advocacy. They argue that caring for the earth and its natural systems is a fundamental aspect of Christian stewardship, and that the Bible teaches us to be responsible managers of the resources that God has given us. They point to passages such as Genesis 1:28, which instructs us to subdue the earth and have dominion over it, but also to Psalm 24:1, which reminds us that the earth is the Lord's and everything in it. In conclusion, while the claim that global warming is a war by the mainstream media against Christianity is a complex and multifaceted issue, it is clear that there are many different perspectives and interpretations of this issue. While some believe that the media's coverage of global warming is a deliberate attempt to undermine Christian values and promote a secular, liberal agenda, others see it as a legitimate concern that requires a thoughtful and nuanced response from people of faith. Ultimately, the relationship between Christianity and environmentalism is a complex and multifaceted one, and it requires a deeper understanding of the biblical teachings and principles that underlie our faith, as well as a willingness to engage with the broader cultural and societal issues that shape our world.